time to start.
Okay, I'm ready.
Many years, and I've been deeply involved in the Lime Academy, and we have a lot of students who live and work in downtown New London, and it's just a great symbiotic relationship between Old Lyme and New London. So we are really happy to be hosting this event for the next mayor of New London, Rob Hero.
Hey, hey, hey!
I just wanted to acknowledge that Chris Healy was here, the chairman of the state Republican Party. And Mayor Martin Berliner from...
Martin Olson.
Martin.
I did the same thing.
Martin Olson.
Starting a rumor already.
And State Representative Chris Kutu is
Right here.
from Norwich, right here.
Happy New Year.
And former Senator Kathy Cook, who has... And we are very fortunate to have former Congressman Rob Simmons here. Who in just 1 second is going to do the honors and introduce our candidate. But I first wanted to acknowledge a very old and dear friend of mine who is largely responsible for this, well, at least 50% responsible for this candidate, and that is Tony Carroll.
Here, here.
So,
Political campaigns for Republicans in Connecticut, and especially for Republicans in New London, are serious business. We all know that. My wife has been a teacher in New London going on 16 years. Years ago, my best friend, best man at my wedding, Daniel Morse, acquired the Guard Art Theater for the American Musical Theater, now run beautifully by Steve Siegel. Now, this is a great city. It's a wonderful city with wonderful history. But for Republicans, it's always an uphill battle. And that's why we are so fortunate. We're so lucky to have somebody by the name of Rob running for office and carrying our values forward. I first got to know Rob through his father, Tony. And we were doing some work at the time, as I recall, political work with the Mashantucket Pequot tribe. And we'd ride back and forth, and he would talk to me about Ocean Beach Park and all of the wonderful things he did for Ocean Beach Park and for this city. And I believe all of his children grew up here, worked here, except for the son who's in the Navy. Where is he? Is he here tonight? He's retired from the Navy, so he's back. And the family extends from that. The Perrow family is the family that loves New London, and they're invested in New London. And they share the values that we all have for our communities. First and foremost, a place to raise our family, in this case, our 3 children, right? Let's hear it for the Perrow kids. A place where we can get a decent job. A place where we can grow the economy. And for this, we need leaders who have experience. Leaders who have experience, who have been in public office, who have won races, and who have given back. And as I recall, Rob, so far you've won 8.
That's correct.
8 times 2 is 16. That's 16 in the city council. That's an awesome record for Republicans. I also recall from reading the New London Day, and of course I read it every day religiously. It's a wonderful paper, as long as the reporters are good. From reading the New London Day, New London Mayor Rob Perrow's well-deserved honor. This came out in December of 2009, when he became the first honorary or titular mayor for the city of New London. and they congratulated him and his family for giving back to the community and for keeping hope alive with regard to the city. As Murray the Eye would say, New London, the city that refused to die. Pretty good, huh? For keeping hope alive. But now, New London is about to enter into a very significant and new part of its history. A part of its history that involves a strong mayor, a mayor with power and authority, a mayor who hopefully can really get things done. And for this new and important part of the history of this city, we need the very, very best candidates we can find. Candidates with whom we may agree or disagree on a particular issue. And that is always the case in politics. You always agree or disagree on a particular issue. That's normal. But with whom we have confidence that he has the values that we want. The honesty, the openness to discussion, in his case, the willingness and ability to work with the other party in a minority status for 14 of those 16 years, the ability to be successful when it's tough, when the going is tough, the desire to give back to the community. These are the values that make for a great public servant. These are the values that make for a great leader in our city. These are the values that people are going to respond to when they elect Rob Perro the next mayor of the city of New London.
I gave my speech. I want to thank you all for coming. Rob Simmons, thank you for your dedication to our country and our state. You've long been an advocate for this state and this country, and I appreciate your friendship, and thank you for introducing me. John and Diana Atwood, known them for a long time. Thank you for your support, your hospitality, your investment in our city, and bringing back the arts community, being a part of that. We really appreciate that. To my wife Dora, 16 years of this. They haven't all been pretty, but they've been good years. I truly appreciate all your love and support, even when the phone rings at 11:30 at night, or when I have to go out when I haven't written on the calendar. So I appreciate your understanding and your love and commitment of our community and sharing that with us. And to my Bella, you have been there from day one. This is your third campaign. Maybe she started out in a stroller, now she walks. The other two have kicked her out. So thank you. Matthew and Sophia are not here. They are at home. They wanted to stay home and do campaign posters, and they probably have handprints all over the wall. But Matthew is a big campaigner. Every day I pick him up when I do from school. He asks his teacher every day if she's going to vote for me. And she politely says that she does not live in New London, but if she did, she would vote for me. Matthew's taken it one step further. He is a big superhero friend. Batman, Robin, Green Lantern. And so Matthew has given me his Green Lantern figurine. And if you know anything about the Super Friends, Green Lantern provides a protective bubble over his friends. So I can use that protective bubble over the next 8 months if I need it. So I appreciate that. But I want to also thank my dad. My dad has been really a person who has shown me and my brothers and my sister what it means to be committed to our community, how to listen to people respectfully, how to disagree respectfully, and know that you have to provide to your community. So I want to thank him and wish him, he's going to be 90 years old on Sunday. Wish him My older brothers are here. The one who doesn't have any hair on top. That's my brother Billy. My other brother Pat is here as well. Thank them. I'm the youngest of 6, so I was always out looking for money from them, and they were always good enough to provide money and provide me in the right direction. And I appreciate their love and support. Thank you. Some 16 years ago, I believed that I needed to run or advocate for this city. Ocean Beach Park was a place that I grew up at, shared many memories. It was a second home to me. It was failing infrastructure-wise. It was failing from a financial perspective. There was no transparency. People had lost faith in their understanding of what we were doing at that facility. I ran to make it known that we should start looking at what we were doing at the facility, that we needed to make it a discussion within our community. And in the form of government that we have today, if you don't have one of the 7 people advocating for a particular department or a particular issue, it falls by the wayside. So that year in 1995, I made it a point to say that Ocean Beach needed to be at the top of the discussion chart. And it was put there. And I wanted a public-private partnership. Pretty much Ocean Beach was semi-privatized. And I said we needed an outside vendor to run the whole facility, but have the city at the table understanding what we needed to do with the infrastructure. Today we have a citizens organization, Save Ocean Beach, that is committed to the same memories that I had when I grew up as a child in the city, so that the next generation of kids could enjoy that facility. So we have now a yearly budget for preventative maintenance. We're soon to hopefully vote on a yearly revenue stream of $1.2 million to that facility over the next 20 years. That will provide a safeguard for generations to come to enjoy that facility. And tonight, I launch a different campaign. I launch a campaign of a lifelong commitment to my city. I've asked you all here to share with you my commitment to run for mayor of the city of New London. I do so with the understanding that we have many strengths. Many strengths, but we lack focus. We need a focus. We need a focus for our residents. We need a focus for our workers. Our strengths are our transportation. We have a great transportation. We have our rails. We need to expand Shoreline East. Mr. State Rep. We need additional cars here that we were promised. We also need to make sure when the new contract person for State Pier comes in, that jobs are at the offering for New London residents. I know you work very hard to make sure that pier is today active, but we need to make sure that New Londoners have jobs down there. We also need to make sure the arts and entertainment are invested in. We have people here tonight that have invested heavily. And also, if you're looking for, by the way, I forgot to mention, if you're looking for a place to rent, they got a beautiful apartment to rent upstairs. But certainly we need to make the arts and entertainment more focused in New London. Over the last year, I've made recommendations that we have a First Friday. And it's past City Council, and we put dollars into it, and we need to commit to that each and every year over the next 4 years. We have 3 colleges, a higher institution. Last year I've met with all 3 of those heads to talk with them about our commitment to them and the fact that we need them invested in our community. They're not just a building, they're people. They're people and their families that we need to let them know they're a part of our community, and that we value them, and we need them in our businesses, and we need them coming up and down our walkways. Housing, we have a great housing stock in the city. It's a great historic housing. And we need to make sure that we put money in to refurbish the lead issues. It's a very old housing stock, but we need to look at that over the next few years, and I'm going to talk about a program that we invested in a year ago. But our greatest strength is our diversity. Our community is so diverse, and we need to showcase that more. And the pride that when you walk down the street of New London, people wear it on their sleeves. Don't talk bad about New London, otherwise you'll hear about it from a New Londoner. Those are our strengths.